Hello and good afternoon. This is Muffy Davis, Representative Muffy Davis from District 26, and I wanted to do a little video recap of what's going on here at the state legislature while we're in session. My goal is to do it every Friday and try and get it out to you. I had some technical difficulties last week, so I apologize. I am a week late, but I'm going to try and sum up everything that's been going on, or at least the highlights of the last 2 weeks here in the Idaho State Capitol. We started 2 weeks ago on the State of the State address, and it was an honor to be in the House chambers when the governor addressed all of us and shared his vision for Idaho for the next year. And on top of that was his vision for, or his top priority was in education, and he is really behind that, which is really exciting to hear. He is going to continue funding for the 5th year of the career ladder for the teachers in Idaho here, so that is great, and we need to continue that and keep researching and find other ways to make sure that we retain the best teachers that we can and get them at the right level of pay that they need to be at. We're not quite there yet, but we're working hard towards that. We are also undergoing the education funding formula and how that is going to be, and there's a lot of changes that are going on there. So we don't have that final. We haven't seen a final presented yet on that, but I know the last reiteration is just out yesterday, I think. So we will keep watching that and see how that's going to work and let you know. The committees that I am on actually are health and welfare, judiciary and rules, and transportation. And we have been busy in all of those committees. My health and welfare committee meets every morning, 9 a.m. And then the other two, judiciary, rules, and transportation, meets in the afternoons, and we rotate on even and odd days. So those have been busy and going well. Of course, a priority of mine and what I ran on and campaigned on was Medicaid expansion. I have heard from a ton of you that that is a priority and that you want to make sure that it gets implemented the way the people voted for it, without a whole bunch of bureaucratic barriers and work requirements and things like that. So we have not heard a lot discussion actually on the floor or in any of our committees about this yet, but I know what's going on, the rumblings, it is going to happen. Medicaid, you guys all voted for Prop 2 by 60%. Medicaid expansion is now the law. We just have to, in the legislature, figure out how it will be implemented and funded. So I am pushing for that. I do not want to add too many sideboards or over legislate it, but let's just get it in, get it implemented, and make it happen. So we're working to make that happen. In health and welfare, we have mostly been listening and hearing different rules from the state agencies. Each year as new legislation comes through and new statutes and bills are passed, then the agencies have to update those statutes or their rules to comply with the statutes. So we've been going over a lot of those. Probably the most controversial one that we have had, which narrowly passed, was the meningococcal vaccine booster. And what that is we agreed with the rule that was to go in compliance or with what the CDC recommends, is that students before they enter their 12th grade get a booster meningitis vaccination to help boost their immunity in those high risk years, which are the 18 to 26. What they have learned is that the original booster that kids get around 12 tends to fade at about 5 years, that immunities that they offer. And so this booster really helps. Of course, here in Idaho, there are a lot of people that are against being regulated and having to have vaccinations. They feel mandated. There is always, and there is continued with this rule as well, and with this requirement for the booster, parents can always get an exemption. All they have to do is fill out a form or sign any piece of paper, and they can have an exemption from having to do vaccinations for any reason, religious or any other reason. So that is still there, but this is the best way that we can get the information out to the public that there is this booster available, and hopefully help keep kids as safe as they can be in those high-risk years. So I'm very confident in my decision and vote for that rule, and it went over really well. So that's going well. Health and welfare is busy. I love it. It's a great committee. Lots of important things that we're dealing with here in the state. Judiciary and rules, we've had some other big things going on regarding public defense and workforce loads and things like that. So nothing specific that I can tell you, because we haven't really been hearing bills yet. They will start coming in the next couple of weeks. We're starting to hear some different bills and legislation that's actually going to be voted on in the House floor. But other than that, we're really just trying to ramp up and get these rules cleaned up and get all the statutes up to code. And then we'll start hearing all that. So With that, I just want to thank you all so very much. It's a huge honor to be here at the State House and representing all of you, and thank you for your support. Please reach out and let us know if there's ever anything that comes up or anything that we need to be aware of, or that you want to let us know your opinion or your position. And I want to let you know that I will be putting out a newsletter with Representative Sally Toon. We're going to do a co-newsletter weekly while we're in session, and that will be on Tuesdays. So hopefully you're on our email list. If you are not on our email list and haven't been getting emails from either myself or Representative Toon or Legislative District 26, please send me a personal message or Representative Toon a message, and we will make sure that we get you added to that email list so that you can look for our newsletters, which will have more information and different links to legislation and issues that are coming up. So with that, I just want to say thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Get out to the Women's March. I'll be there in Ketchum tomorrow and marching around. So get out and support that movement. I think it was instrumental in me deciding to run for office, and I'm there to go support and continue all this grassroots and the power that we have in numbers and when we come out together. So thank you all and have a terrific weekend. We'll talk to you next week.